Hey, it's Ty Skark 11 with another X and Y Wi-Fi battle from the PSS. Looking at the teams here, nothing new on my side, and the opponent, because of the Steelix, I figured he was going to lead off with that, and he probably knew that because I had the Espeon, that leading off with Steelix wouldn't be a good idea, which is why he probably led off with a Banette, and everything else except for the Zoroark is incredibly bulky, so I just led off with Pyro, expecting to switch out into Espeon if he had the Steelix out. So I figured he was probably going to switch there, but there wasn't any use in risking it. I was just going to go for the straight-up Flamethrower, since the only thing that could take the Flamethrower would be the Vaporeon, and I could easily just Solar Beam that the next turn. And probably not that helpful at the moment, at least. I got the burn. I forget if that becomes important. No, it doesn't, because I just take this thing out easily. So the burn was completely unnecessary, since I probably would have been able to one-shot that with the Solar Beam anyway, whether it got the burn damage or not. So this here was the Zoroark. I don't know, maybe he thought I would switch. Or maybe he figured it didn't matter since he was sashed. And Pyro lives on one single health point. And the useless crit. Utterly meaningless critical hit. So here, because of the way he brought in the Togekiss, I figured he was going to go for an extreme speed. Had he gone for the extreme... Well, had I known he wasn't going to go for the extreme speed, I probably could have taken that out in one hit with Flamethrower. So here, I figured that he was going to switch back into the Togekiss. Oh, wait, no. What am I saying? I went for Stone Edge because the Togekiss was in. So there, I really should have switched out to Espeon, but I figured he was probably going to attack my Lucario. I forget what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure I was meaning to just sack off Lucario there. So now, because of Stealth Rocks, if I switch Pyro back in, he's automatically dead. So here I was half expecting a Will-O-Wisp. I actually didn't think of the taunt. I was expecting a Will-O-Wisp, which is why I went for Protect to get the Toxic off before... Well, Toxic off on Kagami before being hit by a Will-O-Wisp. That way she would be immune to Will-O-Wisp. And knocking off the Toxic Orb was really nothing more than just damage, since I'm already poisoned. I guess that was just the strongest move he could use. So the Mega Banette is gone and really accomplished nothing whatsoever. And just to warn you, there's a bit of a stall here. Not necessarily at this moment, but the battle itself is a bit stally. There's another 10 turns. So he predicted my Protect there and went for the Reflect instead. Not too much of a big deal since I wasn't going to be attacking this thing anyway with an Earthquake. I end up having to later on anyway, but it wasn't exactly a priority, so the Reflect wasn't that important. So now I'm in a great position here. All I have to do is just switch between protecting and substituting. So he predicts that protect and switches out. But now that gives me the ability to toxic this thing and stall it out. So now I can pretty much do the exact same thing by just switching between protect and substitute. Since I outspeed the Togekiss. And he realizes there's absolutely nothing he can do at this moment. So I'm not quite sure why he switched out here. Maybe, I think he only switched out to get off another Reflect. Which is pretty useless anyway. So I just go for the Earthquake for damage since I outspeed. I know he was going to go for the Reflect here. So I really don't quite understand why he kept setting up the Reflects. Maybe just because he wanted this thing to be able to survive one Earthquake? Or multiple Earthquakes? Let's see how much this did again. Yeah, he set it up so that he could survive multiple Earthquakes, and here, either that's the only damaging move he had, or he didn't know that Dragon Tail didn't work on Substitute. But anyway, after he realized that he had absolutely no way of winning since he had two toxic Pokemon and the Steelix couldn't touch Kagami at all. He just forfeited that. So if you want to battle me, check my Twitter link in the description below and at me asking for a battle. So, see you next time.